On the morning of October 14th, a missing person report was filed for 32-year-old Daniel Ease. At first, it seemed routine. His apartment showed no signs of struggle. His phone was missing, and his car had been found parked miles away near an industrial area. But what unsettled investigators wasn't just his disappearance. It was what happened after. Hours later, Daniel's social media accounts were still active. Messages were marked as read. Activity indicators appeared. Then, days later, new logins were recorded from locations no one could explain. His family saw hope in it. Investigators saw something else. The patterns didn't match his behavior. The timing was wrong. And a question began to define the case. If he was gone, who was still online? Daniel lived a quiet, structured life, much of it online. As a remote data analyst, his routines were consistent. He responded to messages quickly, logged in at predictable times, and maintained regular activity across platforms. He never disappeared without explanation. The last confirmed sighting of him was on October 12th at 8:42 p.m., captured on a convenience store camera. He appeared calm, with no signs of distress. After that, he vanished. When his sister noticed that his messages were being read after his disappearance, it raised initial hope. A colleague also reported a brief login to his work account. No actions taken, just a timestamp. It created the illusion that Daniel might still be active, but the deeper investigators looked, the less it made sense. The digital activity was inconsistent. Logins appeared at irregular hours, often late at night, lasting only minutes. This was unlike Daniel's normal usage. When mapped, the login locations didn't align. One came from near where his car was found, another from across the city, a third from a residential neighborhood he had no connection to. Investigators escalated the case and conducted a full digital forensic analysis. Access logs revealed IP addresses, device signatures, and session data. The device used after his disappearance didn't match Daniel's known phone. The system version differed slightly. The usage patterns were slower, more deliberate. Someone else was accessing his accounts, carefully maintaining minimal activity. IP tracing led to a residential building where repeated logins occurred within a consistent window between 11:30 p.m. and 12:10 a.m. This routine suggested control, not randomness. Surveillance was set up. On the fourth night, at 11:47 p.m., another login occurred. Investigators traced it in real time to apartment 3B. The occupant was Victor Okoye, a 36-year-old with no criminal record. The connection between him and Daniel was subtle but critical. Victor had previously worked as a technician for the internet provider servicing Daniel's building and had accessed his apartment months earlier during a service visit. A warrant was obtained. Inside Victor's apartment, investigators found a secondary phone containing saved credentials and session data for Daniel's accounts. Nearby was Daniel's actual phone, powered off and hidden. The truth became clear. The activity wasn't coming from Daniel. It was being recreated. Victor had been logging in manually, reading messages, and triggering activity indicators to simulate presence. It wasn't communication, it was deception. The purpose became evident through financial records. Daniel's banking apps had been accessed, with small, spaced transactions designed to avoid detection. Victor had been exploiting Daniel's identity while maintaining the illusion that he was still alive. The online activity wasn't proof of life. It was a calculated cover. Victor Okoye was arrested shortly after. Digital logs, device evidence, and financial records confirmed sustained impersonation and fraud. Investigators later returned to the industrial area where Daniel's car had been found, leading to a discovery that confirmed the outcome of the case. For Daniel's family, the online activity that once brought hope became something else entirely, a manipulation. Yet those same digital traces revealed inconsistencies that led investigators to the truth. Every login, every timestamp, and every deviation told a story. In a world where being online often signals presence, this case proved otherwise. Sometimes digital activity can be staged, controlled, and used to mislead. In the end, it became the very thing that exposed the truth. Daniel disappeared, but his digital footprint never stopped telling the story.